Hola me bitches, tis I, Chlois, aka Manny Bish, over on Instagram. And today we are using this thermal color. Oh, I was showing you the reason why I had my napkin all switched up like that. From Designer Dips. I seen this on their website, on Etsy. CN Designer Dips is on Etsy. I love their products. Dip is amazing, and I've used her pink shell pink, I think is what it's called. Builder gel. I do still have like a very thin layer of that on my nails, so if you see some like pink reflex before I actually end up dipping, that's what that is. But anyways, this is a color changer, and it goes from, so it's got these pink flakies in it, and it goes from more of like a clear sheer pink to a dark pink, and I love it. So I'm gonna start dipping into that. And I'm doing a full mani of this. Every nail is going to be this flaky. I love the way that sounds. Every nail is going to be this flaky. Like, I've got flaky nails. I mean, I don't. Honestly, I haven't seen my natural nail in a while. So maybe they are flaky. I have no idea. Anywho, I'm using this flaky dip on every single one of my fingers. And I was going to leave it just plain. And then once I got done with it, once I got done with the dipping, I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? This needs something. And then I looked closer and I was like, this kind of reminds me of, and I'll get there when I get there. I'm going to leave you hanging for a minute. You already know or seen probably with the thumbnail what the nail art was. So maybe if you feel my vibe, do you think you know? Do you think you feel my vibe and know what I was going with or envisioning? I don't know. Leave a comment and tell me. So, there was actually kind of a few different vibes going on, but one you definitely won't know because you just won't get it until I share it. But I feel like the other vibe is like, once I tell you, you'll be like, oh, that makes sense. So anyways, as you can see, like once I got on my nail and everything, it turned to this more like light pink, translucent pink. It's not as dark as it is when it's in the cupcake liner. Once a thermal hits your nails and it gets in with your body temperature, it's going to change to the warm color. They usually are the cool color when they're in the jar and just sitting like in themselves. But once they hit your body temperature, they will stay and like change to that color. So just see, because even my like thumb touching the powder, it kind of left the powder with that like white imprint, and then it'll cool back off, turn back pink. But on my thumb or nails, it's going to stay that more white color until they get cold again. So I am dusting off my nails. This was a very like easy flaky to work with. I don't know, have you guys ever had like, to me, first starting out, when I did glitter, like chunky glitter and flakies were so intimidating. And sometimes they still can be, because not every chunky glitter or flaky is made equally. I'm sorry, but they're not. Some are better than others, and this was just such an easy flaky to work with. I loved it so much, and I loved that it changes colors, and I love that it's pink. I won't say that pink is my absolute favorite color, but it is up there. My three tops are pink, blue, and it's like a toss up between yellow and purple. I really do love yellow. I'm a lover of many colors, okay? So, anywho, and then doing the second layer, like everything laid on top of the first layer, very fine and good and smooth. Like, dealing with chunky glitters, if you don't lay them down perfectly the first layer, the second layer on top of it goes on super bumpy and weird, and it can just mess up the whole thing. Some flakies are like that too, but this was very easy to work with, very smooth. So I'm going to do this whole second layer, and then I'm going to show you two nails of clear, because y'all know that I never show my whole hand of clear unless it's just, it's out of the usual, out of the norm for me to do a 5-finger dip of clear. Usually it's only 2. So, anywho, I am surprisingly enough going to dip out right here and just let y'all watch for a minute and not hear me talk for once in your life. Okay, so I'm finishing up activating after dipping in clear, and I filed and buffed already, and now we're going to start on the nail art. So, looking at my nails after I'd filed and buffed and I seen this pink, I was like, you know what? This is kind of giving me like 90s pink princess vibes. Like, does anybody know? Did anybody ever have like a notebook from the 90s that was just like that, like baby hot-ish pink kind of situation, and then it had the little princess crown on it, and it said princess, or it just had the crown on it, and it was like a silver or another like pink crown on top of it? Does anybody get where I'm going with this? Like, that was what I got from this pink just looking at it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to add a crown. I'm going to just add a crown just on my middle finger. I don't know why it was my middle finger, but it was my middle finger. And I was like, that'll just be enough to just, add a little pop. And yeah, because that was the vibe I was getting. And then also another thing was my other vibe that I was getting was my sister had a chair, like a literal high heel chair at one point, and it was like pink like that and said princess. And then my cousin had one that was leopard print. I'm pretty sure they got them at like the same time. But anyways, it reminded me of my sister, this pink did, and that chair that she had. And her birthday is actually on the 26th of this month. So, shout out to my sissy. So yeah, it was just, that was my other vibe. So I somehow was able to get that crown on in my first attempt. No mess ups or anything. Well, that just, I guess, depends on who you ask, because it's not perfect, but it was good enough for me, and that's all that matters. So, anywho, yeah, that was that. I reactivated my nails. I did, of course, I wiped off that one nail that I did the crown on with alcohol with my little scrubby brush to get the tacky layer off and make sure that, like, any of the loose pigment or anything was off of it before going in with my activator and top coat, because it can smear and bleed if it is not like fully cleaned off or anything. So just keep that in mind. And I do really love to use my dip top coat even over gel art. So I find that it works fine. I've never had an issue with it. And this is just my favorite top coat. So yeah, I figured, why not? And it just gave the perfect glossy glass-like look onto this beautiful, beautiful pink. And so, yes. And I'm sorry I didn't go and explain, because I was talking through it about the crown situation. It was literally just a line, triangles, and dots. That I literally tried to do the easiest crown that I could envision in my head, because I didn't look at a picture first. I was just like, we're just going to make this super easy and simple. And so that's what I did. So 2 layers of my dip top coat, and I'm also going to show you guys the color change in this video, which usually I would just do it in the pictures and show you hot versus cold, but I'm actually going to show you how it changes. So you can see my pinky is still pretty dark right now, but here in just a second, you are going to see the magic happen. I was trying to figure out my lighting situation. If you ever just see my lights go in and out and change, it's usually me trying to figure something out. And more often than not, I didn't figure it out. So, take that as you will. So here I have cold water and hot water. And so I'm going to show you. Here it is completely ice cold. Look at that pretty pink. And then hot is where we get more of the hot sheer pink. I say sheer because the base is more sheer when it's warm, and then you have the pink flakies, and then when it's cold, it turns more of that dark color, the base does, with the pink flakies. So that is the difference. And here I'm going to show you, or try to show you side by side. See, cold is the dark pink, light is the more body temperature pink. So that is my Princess Manny, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye, bitches.